This is one of the most difficult and hardest time to quit porn. The stuff is no longer a secret. Porn is everywhere in the air. There is a huge demand for it. Why is the demand for porn this high? Understanding why people spend so much time and resource on porn is the only way to understand how to stop it. The only way to stop an addiction is for us to understand why we got in that addiction in the first place. What led us there? Stop fighting yourself. Your mind does not understand those rules, those commands, and those promises you make every new year. You want to stop so badly, but can't. You need proper understanding. And this is what this video will do. I will show you why your mind loves porn and how to make it stop. At this stage, you just might not be a porn addict, but a victim of massive sexual campaigns, and you need to get out fast and quick. But each time you try, you'll find yourself going back and back and back again. You feel helpless. Porn has become the third companion in some marriages. It's convenient, just a click away. It won't give you STDs, it won't stress you, it won't judge you. Yes, watching porn and masturbation has a lot of advantages, but slowly it begins to take you in video after video, and for every time you sink in deeper and you begin to see that it's just a rabbit hole you may never come out of. The big question is, how do you quit porn? Number 1, understand, stop fighting nature. Understanding, accepting, and embracing your human biology, that is the sexual part of you, is key to managing sexual temptations. Western philosophy and religions tell you to bury this part of you. Shout out to religions that promote celibacy. But if you look closely, you'll find out that more often than not, priests in this religion have fallen to the temptation of these very sexual sins they took celibacy vows to never commit. Rather than bury your sexual nature, African philosophy teaches you to be aware, to accept and learn how to drink from the oceans of sexuality without sinking and drowning inside it. Accept that sex is a human need. It might not be the most primary, as there is food, water, shelter, and protection, and other needs, but sex is a part of you. If it were wrong, you wouldn't have the morning erection and the wild hormones pulling you to your sexual desires. This is why the human biology, both male and female, is specially designed in a way that both sexes need one another to stimulate and satisfy the sexual need. Your job is to ensure that you reach this satisfaction with that right person and the right way, or else the feeling of shame and so many other twisted urges might follow. This is what happens when you try to use porn to supplement the role of a partner you love. You feel shame, disgust, and still unsatisfied after climaxing from porn. Your mind is jolted back to reality. You are alone. The partner is not real, and you know it's not worth it, but you keep watching porn again and again. You need serious help. Don't stop watching this video because I'm going to share a whole lot. So when you have this understanding of nature, you stop feeling shame about sex. You start understanding that it is just you being human. But what separates you from the animals is your ability to manage and control your sexual urges. This is why humans are able to delay sex and have it within properly structured, healthy, monogamous or polygamous relationships. But I advise monogamous relationship. What porn does is it tells you you can get it now without the natural process. It tells you it's okay to sink deeper into your lowly animal self. It's landed big stars into trouble, some of them caught and disgraced as they masturbated on passenger airplanes. It can do that to you. Understand nature and do things the natural way. Stop cutting corners. Leave sexual stimulation for monogamous and committed relationship. This must be one of your most important decisions. Return to basics. If you don't have a relationship, then it means it's time to focus on yourself. I'll get to that part in this video. Porn and masturbation is simply artificial. And artificial things always have their own downside, you get me? I promise you that what you're experiencing needs simple understanding. It is not spiritual, no demon is after your life, and if they are, believe me, you have power. You're a conqueror. Everything happening right now is happening because you're allowing it. A lot of people are also even in monogamous relationships, in marriages that are sexless and can't get sex. And you're married. How can you be married and can't get sex? Now, I don't know the context, but if you're married and both of you are agile and sexually active people, you need to start having conversations, because sometimes just sex is enough to solve this problem. People having proper sex. We need to start being honest with the decisions we make. You need sex. You are just a sexual being who is stimulating their sexual self the wrong way. You can't control something you think doesn't exist. This is why you will keep going back to watch porn, cheat on yourself or your partner. I'm born time trying to get relief and escape from porn. So remember, accept your nature as a sexual being. Don't run from it. The next tips will show you how to manage this sexual nature so that you do not sow seeds of lust. Number 2, stop doing what makes you happy every time. Practice self-control. The comfort zone mentality has formed the very theory of modern existence. No one wants to restrain themselves anymore. We've got fast food, we've got fast cars, fast everything, and fast sex websites. You don't need to have the real relationships anymore, or bonding or intimacy, or deal with women. Women also don't want to deal with men anymore. This has created a dystopic world where animals even have mate and successful relationships than humans, who are supposed to be the most intelligent of all species. But now we have objects for mates. That's something else. So everyone wants to act on impulse in this era. You don't want to woo that girl anymore because she's a lot of handle. She doesn't want you either because she thinks you're a lot of handle as well. So with all this turmoil, there comes porn. Porn doesn't whine, porn doesn't stress, porn doesn't ask you for money. It is just easier and requires less efforts. It's easy to compensate yourself with it, and etc. This comfort zone mentality of ease, quickness, and convenience will make porn your friend. The comfort zone also leaves you with a loser mentality. It tells you that this is all you have to deal with and you have to settle for less. This is a big lie. There are still millions of people who have not fallen to this hook and do whatever makes you happy mentality. There are still amazing men and women out there who still cherish, genuine relationship and, intimate human relationship. If you believe in marriages, be confident that you will find someone who will enjoy your companionship, and your sexual self is nothing to be ashamed of. Actually, to review or to rewire your brain, start teaching it to follow process, minimize instantness, minimize the quickness and convenience. I'm not saying these things are not good, but when they take over your human nature, they overwhelm you, and that becomes a problem. Start sitting through things, start taking processes, start taking walks, start going to the gym, start having difficult conversation. Even if they don't turn out well, it is life. So stop giving into life every time. Get to the gym. You could join even a gym group and make new friends. Sometimes cook a meal and wait till it's fully cooked instead of ordering. Take a walk without your phone in the evening. Take yourself out to see a movie instead of watching Netflix. Play some games with friends or invite friends over, learn a new skill, take a course, do a gadget fast, take a day off all social media and gadgets and just be by yourself. You could play positive songs to yourself, speak positive to yourself. The point is loving yourself, because watching these things, watching porn and all these things, they teach you to only love your sexual self. But you are not just a sexual being. You are different things. You are creative. You are a whole lot. So I am teaching you now in this time to know how to love other parts of yourself. Make love to other sides of yourself. Not just the sex part. Make it a duty to do something that takes you out of your comfort zone each year. It could be a project. Just ensure it's worthy and also challenging. First 3 months can be something that challenges your career, like learning a new skill or improving your existing skills. The second 3 months can be something that challenges your sense of process, like hitting the gym, creating a savings target for something like a house, travel, or just financial responsibility. Fasting on certain foods, fasting certain behaviors you believe are self-draining and toxic to you. Fasting certain relationships that push you to your lower animalistic self. Fast those kind of relationship. Take social media breaks. Try reading or listening to entertaining and edifying podcasts. You can even try learning painting or art. Try listening to podcasts to sleep instead of staring at your phones into the night. Cooking once in a while, or taking an evening walk. All these things can actually help. The other quarters, the other months, you can use them. You can do something that challenges your idea of fun, like going on a trip. Whatever you can afford is fine, actually. Just move. That's the most important thing. Another thing can be just sense of relaxation. Maybe just go to a spa to get a massage, pampering yourself to a great deal, or going shopping and getting yourself nice things. And be very particular about everyone. I'm very particular about everyone, especially men, to do this. Do these favors to yourself. Actually, make love to other parts of yourself. Do not just, it doesn't have to be only sexual, because the world is already overly sexualized. Get yourself a proper reward when you're done. If enjoy your own company, start learning how to purge yourself off the dirt you've accumulated from the years of feeding off wrong content. If you're in a relationship, then have those difficult conversations that may have had you straying towards pornography. If you have an empathic partner, a partner who understands and a partner who will not use your secret against you, then I advise that you share what you're going through so that they can be an accountability partner and how they can help. If not, you can find a trustworthy friend or find an online community you can join that will help you overcome this addiction. Rebrand yourself, find other ways to make yourself happy. If you're single, try and do these things alone. Spend time with other parts of yourself, working on yourself, discipline yourself. I always recommend learning a new skill, actually, or setting a new milestone that pushes you out of your comfort zone. Something that you like to reach, a target you like to reach in the area of your life. Sometimes this is something your hunter and gatherer ancestors would have done. You get it? Let's not just always follow the norm. We minimize the dependence on instant and fast things as well. This method trains your brain to understand that life takes a process. The inventors of these are fast machines. They are also products of process. The machines might create instant results, but they are products founded from longer durations, of research. You need to start thinking like these guys. Stop thinking like a consumer. Start thinking like an inventor. Nothing grows in the comfort zone. Whatever you do not settle into the easy and lowly life. Don't give up on humanity, or you're human. Don't give up. You are supposed to force life to make sense, actually, not give up. So don't fall back into that cheap and easy porn. Work hard, reward yourself the hard way. I advise people to ball hard, enjoy hard as well. Take a break on virtual enjoyment. Stop for these online enjoyment, ordering things, watching Netflix to reward yourself. Sometimes go out and enjoy yourself. Go out and enjoy yourself, actually. The third one here is there is a hidden problem. What problem are you using porn and masturbation to handle? Telling people to stop addictions without eradicating the stressor, triggers, or problems that push them is a little counterproductive. You see, abusive people tend to have a history of abuse themselves. People fighting drug addictions may use it to cope with life pains and problems, or even failures or self-esteem issues. So what are the things you are using porn to handle or cope with? Take your time to think this through. Do you get it? Did you get a certain level or a certain frequency of sex in your previous relationship, but now you turn to porn in your present relationship because you can't meet up, or you can't get that level of satisfaction in your current relationship? Do you turn to porn as a stress reliever? Did you get into it because of curiosity, pushed by social pressure or whatever? Was it due to grief? What were you going through? Was it a broken relationship that pushed you to porn? I will explain how to manage all these things in the next tip anyway. But for those who turn to porn as a stress reliever, after you had this work, our advice, if you understand something, your stress levels are always very high after you had this work. So it's easier to just touch yourself and fall asleep. That might be life's issues swallowing you up. Life's issues swallowing you up. Insomnia is kicking in. You can't sleep easily. Sleep is becoming harder, and you are turning to porn might just be your own way of finding ease and sanity in that chaos. I know life can be a lot to handle, actually, and we rarely talk about the methods we all use to cope. Everybody just might be addicted to something. It's just just becomes unhealthy when it starts gripping you and making you reach for it like a junkie or an addict. You get me? You see, life issues might not, the thing is, you see, life issues might not end as much as we want them, but we can find better ways to handle them. So we need healthier coping mechanisms. Instead of porn, you can do good stretches, hot or cold baths to help you fall asleep. You see, giving up habits are very hard, especially the bad ones. They're hard because they took time to build. But we must all reinforce the healthier habits with time. If we want to win, it has to take time. You need to be more than willing. That's why you have to forgive yourself and be patient with yourself. We need to be more than willing to try the healthier part. The process of starving ourselves off porn might be very, very hard. But once you survive the strong urge, at least maybe the first few weeks or the first 2 weeks, that week of withdrawal, you can start a new habit. Turn off your phone and go to bed. New habits will need some time. In fact, it will need the same time you used to form attachment to porn. So start sleeping early at a healthier and earlier time. Also, if you are a late worker, then it makes sense to come home and shower and go to bed. Cut off social media at night. The next point here, be at peace without your gadgets and the opposite sex. Look, I know it sounds a bit, but let me explain why. You are whole and complete. Every other thing is a complement and addition. Your utmost purpose as a modern human is to live and improve the world around you. It is not solely to play husband, wife, or provider, or father, or mother. You are firstly beautiful and perfect. Any other thing is added advantage. Same way with your sexual urges. They are not your full self. Sexuality is just a tiny part of you as a human being. Sadly, today's world is so sexual that people forget their creativity and their gifts, and they choose to identify themselves by their sexual choices. So I want you to know that you are more than your desire for orgasms. It is just a little part of you. Remember when you were just a child? You were fine. In fact, remember the time before you had sex, you were fine. The urges might have been there, but they were not pulling you this way. So the thing is, look, I know you've been told about soulmates, about wives, about husbands, about two becoming one. But for two to become one, please remember they have to agree. For people to agree, they need to be firstly whole and complete in themselves. So this step is to teach you how to enjoy your own company, which is very, very important actually. It's very important to learn how to enjoy your own company. I feel like this is not shared as often as it should. Enjoy a company without being sexual. Whatever pushed us towards addiction were meant to break us. So we find completeness and wholeness in all these easily accessible and addictive things like porn. But to heal, we must grieve the proper way and begin our journey to healing. Feel bad, cry, but it is time to move on. The process might need us to start the steps I shared in number 2, for example, where I said we should leave our comfort zone, fasting off some behaviors the difficult way. Clean your tears, rise from the ashes, and we start rebuilding ourselves to our truest and highest form. None of these processes will happen in the comfort zone, to be honest. But with time, we start enjoying our company. Remember, your innocence as a child, you have to remember it. So we have to reclaim that innocence. Reclaim it because you will need it to find peace in yourself and your own company. How did you handle boredom as a child? How did you handle, pain? You slept or went about mischief, right? How did you handle, you didn't touch yourself, right? No, you didn't. Good. So when life stress hits you, you went to your parents or you cried or you did something like that. So I'm not talking about those who experience early child abuse or assault or some of those tragic things, sad. But whatever you went through, just remember your innocence as a child, how it was beautiful and pure. We need to draw from that innocence to find peace with ourselves, because everyone is actually a child in a bigger person's body. Ensure you are not distracting yourself. Find hobbies you love and enjoy. For the first few weeks of quitting porn, this will be a bit hard actually. But here you will need your will to pull through. Spend more time with yourself. Just lay with yourself and close. You can even close your eyes for hours. The most important is, learning to love yourself. Do nothing, say nothing for hours. You can even start with 1 hour per day. You could just, use that hour to create or build something, but ensure it is without your gadgets. Very important. You can be painting, writing, whatever it is, and keep successfully doing it for 1 week and repeat. Yes, you may be a sexual being, but I'm just letting you know that it is one very tiny part of you. You're a creative, imaginative, social, innovative, and even a spiritual being. Apart from sex, there are other beautiful sides of you. So activate these other areas, and if it's a positive and healthy, if a positive and healthy monogamous relationship comes your way, fine. But you would have learned the beauty of yourself and company even without stimulating yourself sexually. This will give you the power to desexualize your mind. Avoid the triggers by sanitizing your space and gadgets. Unfollow pages if you have to. I'm going to explain why. The next point: stop soft porn and then hard porn. You see, blocking porn sites today is like securing your doors but leaving your windows open. Soft porns are not as brash and graphic as hard porn, you see, but gradually they creep into your mind. They fill it up with seeds of lust and stimulation that lead you back to masturbation. Those gym videos of people working out in sexually suggestive scanty dresses, the music videos, the memes, the jokes, the Instagram explore page, and so on, they are very dangerous, and you need to stop ASAP. You need to stop looking at them. See, you will keep getting them if you don't stop watching and engaging. So unfollow those pages no matter who owns them, no matter how committed you are to those pages. Each time they show up, click not interested and start paying attention to more non-sexual content, so that the social media algorithm can start suggesting non-sexual content to you as well. You want to train your mind to stop seeing the human body as sexual. But telling your mind to stop will never work actually. You need to train your mind by looking away. Look away. Because sometimes these sexual things will come to you in real life as well, beyond social media. You have to learn to close your eyes or look away. Just move on. You are your mind's master. So what you are putting into it matters a lot. I think I remember the scriptures, if you're a Christian, says it's not enough to just commit adultery. Sometimes by looking lustfully alone, you've done it. So as much as Western philosophy might have its shortcomings, I also love borrowing some things from them. I don't just like the denial or the rejection of self that Western philosophy does, but you have to agree that there are some things to learn from them. So remember, what you are feeding your mind is very important, because right now the world is at its most sexualized era. Everything from even food chefs acting sexual to superheroes for kids looking very sexual. So this is a battle you must win for your own mind. Today's brave humans may not need to hunt beasts and fight beasts. Your beast and your mind now. So please remember that porn cooks and roasts your brain in a very horrible way, badly, and it drugs you with the pleasure hormones till you are not aware of what's happening around you. So if you read the myth of Tantalus, you understand better. You see, Tantalus murders his own son and tries to trick the gods into eating them. So as punishment, Tantalus was banished to a special realm of the underworld known as Tartarus, where he would forever be surrounded by water that he couldn't drink and fruits he couldn't reach. In some accounts, water vanishes each time Tantalus tries to drink them. If water comes and Tantalus tries to drink, this water vanishes. I believe that's where tantalizing came from, but it's not real. For Tantalus, the water he's seen is not real, but he believes it's real. So anytime he tries to drink, it disappears. He is cursed to keep trying. Porn drugs us into believing what we are getting is bond and intimacy with hot and sexy men and women, with glorious bodies. That's also them trying to feel something empty, a vacuum in our hearts, or some self-esteem issues in us. But there is a rude shock after a climax. You realize you are alone and have spent productive hours trying to bond with mere images and videos. They're not even real. You see, porn is not what it seems. Like movies, it is shot with multiple takes and retakes, makeups, and the perfect angles to get you to believe them. Just do some research on how porn stars do their life. So, like movies, it is shot with multiple retakes and a whole lot of things for you to believe. This is why individuals feel lost when they snap out of it, through more temporary orgasms. There is a feeling of self-hate and disgust, feeling very dirty, worthless. So, guys, stop watching porn and unfollow and stop visiting those pages, please. Move on, stop visiting the porn sites. Go 1 week without watching porn. Go off your phone. Just spend 1 hour without your phone. The first week is usually very hard because it is a habit your body has formed, so you need new training. So fight the battle and then reward yourself with something cool at the end of the week. Keep trying. You can tell yourself it is hard, I can't quit. Don't wait for a tragic reason, please. What will it take you to quit porn actually? Imagine losing someone you love because you were touching yourself and you couldn't hear them crying for help. Let that image sink in and stop you immediately. You see, imagine losing all you've worked for because you felt you couldn't touch yourself on the plane or something. So guys, it's crazy, very, very crazy. The last one here, I believe, is defeat shame. Defeat the shame. See, I believe wanting to quit a habit that took you years to build requires serious determination and a positive attitude. It also needs you to forgive yourself and be kind to yourself. Some people may see consistency showing up every day, but consistency realistically will be falling and getting back up on the journey. You see, it's entirely okay if you sleep here and there, but the trick you must never fall is, oh, I already slept and now I'm going back to watching porn. Let me just give in. No, don't do that. Catch yourself sleeping and get back up and retighten your security. Get rid of more things that are making your defense very weak. It's a mind battle and it's going to be one of the most important life battles. Be patient with yourself. Try and carry out this journey without feeling shame. What you need to overcome is your master mode, and a master must not feel shame. A master can't lead if they feel unworthy already. None of these things shape you. Remember, it's a phase. You will triumph. Let your body and brain know that you are their master. This is the kind of attitude you need to win any battle in life. You walk into this, you will lead yourself out. No need to blame yourself. Do not blame anybody. Consider this just like a tiny detour and stopover. Trust me, you will recoup and you continue your journey. While masters might fall once in a while, everyone better be afraid of their comeback. Actually, I'm waiting for you guys. Cheers.